This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is Ashley Eckstein, Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to Coffee with Kenobi's Facebook Live every Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm your host, Dan Z, thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. Well, as you've been saying here on our comments already, it is May the 4th Eve, Star Wars Day Eve. Tomorrow's a big day for Star Wars fans, of course. It's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. May I be the first to say that to each of our friends here. Let's say hello to everybody. Let's say hello. Minta is here, of course. Minta, good to have you on the show. Yes, Star Wars Eve. Ben, May the 4th Eve. Ben, I saw your comment, and I thought May the 4th Eve, and then Minta Star Wars Eve. It worked perfectly. Ross, hello, man. Thanks for your help today. Ross was helping me remember when they announced the second episode of The Bad Batch because I was getting my dates confused. So thank you, Ross, for that. Mary, May the 4th be with all of us tomorrow. Absolutely. Peter, welcome to the show, my friend. It's good to have you. Yes, we are very excited for The Bad Batch. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be so much fun, especially because of all of you and the fun, the positivity that you bring to this incredible fandom. All right, very good. So, let's see who else is here. Oh, Marcus. Hello, Marcus. Happy Bad Batch Eve to you too. I bet you are very, very busy. I hope you're going to build lots of really cool armor from the Bad Batch that we can see at the next convention. I've said it many, many times. Marcus does a lot of stuff with the 501st, and I think he makes the best armor I've ever seen. So, kudos to you, Marcus. Kudos to you, my friend. All right, let's see who else is here. Jason's here. He says, I thought this week was a Bad Batch night, so I completely forgot about the Poe Top 5. That's okay. I have faith in you'll be able to come up with something on the spot. I know you will. Matthew, hello. Happy May the 4th Eve. After the day I've been having, I needed this escape. Thank you all. Well, hey, we are happy to be a part of that and to give a fun, happy, healthy Star Wars escape for you. And Mason is here as well. Hello, Mason. Mason helped me do a lot of cool unboxings today, which I'll show everybody very soon. Daniel, hello, buddy. Hey, I like your little May the 4th underneath your profile. Jamie says, one more sleep until May the 4th. Oh, I love that. One more sleep. That's great. High five, Marcus. Hello, Cato. Good to have you. Cato, part of our Star Wars family, of course. So, yes, tomorrow is the Bad Batch. We're very excited. Again, I am your host, Dan Z. Thrilled to be here with you. Man, it's been a fun, crazy last 48 hours. Just wait until you see what's coming from Coffee with Kenobi tomorrow, from Star Wars tomorrow. It's gonna be quite a day. It is really gonna be quite a day. So we got a lot of fun things to share. Hello, Amber. Welcome back to the show. I want to show everybody. I got a lot of great mail today. I'm sure if you watched on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter on all of our Coffee with Kenobi, I think I'm one follow away on Coffee with Kenobi's Facebook to get to 10,000. So you might be that person, or invite someone over and we'll have our 10,000. So that's great. I got some packages today from Hasbro. I got some stuff from Disney, and I got some stuff from Lucasfilm and Disney Plus. And I'm thrilled to share some of this with you tonight, and some we will show you tomorrow. One thing I got really cool that Disney sent out to some people was a Bad Batch care package, which is great. So we've got the Bad Batch 99 hat right here. This is the logo that is on all of their armor itself, on their pauldron. So here's the front, here's the side, and then there's the back. It's got the 99 on it, Clone Force 99. So that's pretty cool. It's a really, really nice hat. We've got I don't have all the things with me. They're in the other room, but some of the extra fun things I thought I shared. Let me get the picture out of the way really quickly. So here's some of the socks, Bad Batch socks, which are really cool. I really like the back of them. I think they're fun. Upside down. There we go. And then just a fun little extra thing for Mason and I to enjoy while we're watching the Bad Batch tomorrow on Disney Plus. Galactic Berry Crunch popcorn. How about that? So really, really cool. Now this Bad Batch shirt I got a long time ago. This is from Her Universe. And it's like, let me put that picture up again. I know that people wanted to see it. Let me make it a little bit larger so you can see it a little more clearly. You can see it in more detail on our Instagram page where they sent me the Jason Fry Clone Wars Encyclopedia that just came out, a shirt of tech. The Turvis Cup. There's a fun little destination space thing. It's got cards for things you can sort of ask each other trivia about favorite snacks, things like that. Some stickers, M&Ms and Skittles. It's great. Really great stuff in a really, really cool collectible box. A very cool collectible box. All right, so Jason wants to know, are those socks for sale anywhere because I need them? You know, Jason, I think all that's going to be announced tomorrow. Be sure to check our Twitter and Facebook and Instagram for all the links and all the ways you can shop. And by the way, when you are shopping tomorrow on Shop Disney, if you use the affiliate links that we post on social media, some of that benefits Coffee with Kenobi as well. You're certainly under no obligation to do so. But if you do decide to do that, it would sure be a great help to me. So thank you, even for your consideration. So yes, wow, this is cool. This stuff is amazing. And I'm very, very blessed and very, very grateful to Disney. So thank you so much to Disney for sending that over. Amber says, I've found the recipe for Ronto wraps, so I guess that's what I'm having for dinner. Nice. Very, very nice. Those are so big. I still like the Cadu ribs better, but people love those. Hey, Eric, what's up, man? Good to have you back on the show naturally. All right, so I showed you the Bad Batch care package that I got. Got the little hat right here. So let me see. What else do I want to show you? Oh, let's look at what's brewing in the world of Star Wars because there's something quite insanely cool we got to talk about.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
All right. So what's brewing in the world of Star Wars this week is we have, of course, this is the week of May the 4th. This is a Star Wars week that we're also excited about. I expect a lot of cool things. Merchandising, certainly. Shop Disney is going to be crazy tomorrow, everybody. Trust me. It's going to be amazing tomorrow. I've seen some cool stuff that I can't share yet, but when you see it, your head is going to explode. There's a lot of great Star Wars collectibles. Be sure to check out Shop Disney. Again, if you shop through our affiliate, that would be great too. But either way, there's some great stuff there. Speaking of great and Disney, if you saw last Thursday, there was a major press conference where they showed what is coming very, very soon. It's coming June 2022. It is the new Disney cruise ship. It is called the Disney Wish. This is a shot of it. It's basically the size of the Dream of the Fantasy. If you've ever been on that, Deanna and I went on the Disney Dream for our honeymoon almost 9 years ago now. And we just absolutely fell in love. It's just one of the most wonderful things you could possibly do. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting, kiddo. Very cool. We'll keep our eyes open for that. So we've got the ship. Now, the reason I bring up the ship, there's some cool stuff I want to show you. And of course, it is going to be Star Wars related, so stay tuned for that. This is called the Aqua Mouse. The Aqua Duck was on the Disney Dream and the Fantasy. And it is basically an indoor water slide / roller coaster. It's very, very fun, very family friendly. But for the Aqua Mouse, they've added a twist to it where they've got some interior video and some lights and special effects and water sprays to make you feel like you're in one of these great brand new Mickey Mouse cartoons that Mason and I and our family like so much that a lot of people really, really love too. This is the topic of this week's show for me. Well, I'm glad. The Wish is going to be great. Summer of 2022. So we've also got some great things. This is the interior. So if you've ever seen the interior of any of the Disney cruise ships, they've actually updated it for this one. It's supposed to be inspired by Cinderella, and it's really beautiful. And when you first walk in onto the boat, I remember when Deanna and I did this, it just takes your breath away and everyone is there clapping and cheering and welcoming you in. And you really feel like you're about to partake of something special. So, and you undoubtedly are. A major highlight is they're going to have a Marvel themed restaurant inside, and I think it's supposed to take the place of the Animator's Palette, if you're familiar with that. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of really cool interactive Marvel things there. But the highlight, and of course the reason I'm showing you this, is the Hyperspace Lounge, right? The Hyperspace Lounge. Daniel, I'm going to get to that. So good thought, buddy. So the Hyperspace Lounge there's going to be one particular lounge. Some of the other cruises, like a cityscape, where it just shows you different effects from different places. Well, this is going to have different planets. There's a great article that Dan Brooks did on StarWars.com going over what they're going to do. But basically, it's inspired by Dryden Voss's bar in Solo, A Star Wars Story. You can certainly tell by the aesthetics. But they had a great time building this thing. It opens this summer of next year. And gosh, they're going to have a special Star Wars lounge inside. And during the day, it'll be open for kids too with non-alcoholic drinks. So it's going to be really, really fun. So Marcus says, cruise in June and celebration in August. Why not? Well, there you go. So certainly hyperspace replaces Cityscape. Exactly. I couldn't think of the name, but Cityscape. That's correct. And as you can see there's an example of Tatooine with the Falcon, but you're going to feel like with this incredible LED technology, you're going to see some really, really cool stuff behind you. So do we have anything specifically planned for Coffee with Kenobi and travel? No, we don't right now. A lot of people in the CWK Cafe, our Facebook group that anybody's welcome to join. People have been saying, hey, are we going to do a Star Wars cruise? Are we going to do like some sort of a trip? We certainly want to do something really fun. We're looking at lots of options and opportunities. Obviously, things haven't fully opened up all the way, and there are a number of things that Becky Mankin and I are looking at. But whenever we do decide to do something, if we decide to do something, we can do it. Then certainly we're going to have it through MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, the official travel partner of Coffee with Kenobi. So that is something we are looking at. So if you have ideas of things you might want to do, let us know. We'll certainly put it into our Star Wars coffee pot and stir things up and see what we can figure out. But it is something we are at least thinking about. Thomas is here. Thomas says, hey, Dan, late to the show. Found out today that one of my childhood dogs passed away. Don't want to be a downer, but just thank you for giving a little joy to me. You and the community you've created here are awesome. Thank you. Well, Thomas, I'm so very sorry, man. I know how special pets are and how they become such an integral part of the family. So certainly know that our thoughts and prayers and condolences are with you, because that stinks. That stinks. I understand. Brian says, play some sabacc and sip a fuzzy tauntaun. Supposedly, the stuff and the drinks you're going to get there are going to be different from what you can get at Galaxy's Edge. So this will be a brand new, unique experience. But I hope there's fuzzy tauntauns on that too, because that's pretty fun. Amber says it would be nice to go on the Galactic Star Cruiser, the Halcyon. Yeah, once we hear some news about that, that'll be pretty spectacular as well. So many cool travel opportunities for Star Wars, which is why I like working with Becky Mankin and MEI and Mouse Fan Travel so much, because I trust them and they give me good prices, and they will you as well. All right. I think it's time to get into our top 5, and then after our top 5s, we will certainly talk about how we're getting ready for the Bad Batch and Star Wars Day, May the 4th. And next week, we're probably going to ask you how you celebrated May the 4th. But today, we're doing your top 5 Poe Dameron moments. And this was somewhat tricky as Mason and I were trying to fill out our list for tonight. We realized, well, gosh, well, he's not really in it that much. What does he do in these movies that we can think of for a top 5? So I think we came up with a list that I'm pretty happy with, and I'm looking forward to everybody else's. Undoubtedly, as you always do, you'll give me ideas that I'd never thought of, which will be fantastic. Okay, top 5 Poe Dameron moments. I only have one from the newest film. And since I'm bringing it up, I'll just show it to you right now because it is my number 5. My number 5 Poe Dameron moment is flashlight ignition. This is the part where they're inside that cave, patrolling, looking for evidence of the Wayfinder. And it's dark in this cave, and Rey turns on her lightsaber. And then next to her, Poe Dameron turns on his flashlight. And it's certainly quite comical, especially with the power of Rey and her lightsaber and her knowledge of the Force. And Poe just this cocky hotshot pilot, and they kind of have a little bit of headbutting, at least in the beginning of the movie, so it's kind of funny. Eric says, I just started reading Poe Dameron Free Fall, which came out, I believe, last year. I'm looking forward to, Eric, what you think about that one. Ben says, this is when I wish I read his comic. I really liked his comic by Charles Soule. I thought that was good, but none of those things have actually made my list. Number 5 for Thomas. Poe's first line here in The Force Awakens. Who talks first? You talk first? I talk first. And I like that one. That's played in every episode of Coffee with Kenobi. It's probably going to come up later on my list as well. Number 5 for Minta, same as mine. The flashlight issue in the cavern. I like that you say that it's an issue. That's actually a pretty funny way to describe that. Very fun. Jason leading the attack against the First Order on Takodana. Just a really cool aerial fight sequence. I agree. I like that as well. Peter says, you need a pilot, in response to Finn's lie that he's helping him to escape because it's the right thing to do. I like that part as well. That's a good line, Peter. I wish I'd thought of that one. Ben number 5, light skipping with the Falcons is just visually cool and shows the pinnacle of his piloting skills. Very good. Mary's number 5, can I kiss you? Asking Zori at the end of Rise of Skywalker. I wonder if someone's going to bring that one up. Amber's number 5, Poe meeting Kaz in Resistance. Oh, Resistance, rats. I would have put some stuff from Resistance in there. Those are good. In fact, I think that's some of the best characterization of Poe Dameron in Star Wars Resistance, the animated show. That's a great one. Mason's number 5 is the beginning sequence of The Last Jedi when he takes on that Star Destroyer all by himself and flies around incredibly and takes out all those cannons. That's Mason's number 5. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into number 4. Number 4 for me of top 5 favorite Poe Dameron moments is the Finn rescue. This is the one that Peter just mentioned. I don't have any specific lines of dialogue, although Peter, your example is certainly one I would have, if I thought of it, I certainly would have put that. That is a great one. But yeah, I just like how Finn rescues Poe and Poe just trusts him instantly. Not out of naivete, but just there's like an instant kinship there. And then Poe maintains his confidence, maintains his focus, and helps the two of them work together to escape. I just like that whole action sequence. I think it's really spectacular. Number 5 for Eric is Poe and Zori quietly reconnecting. Awesome. Number 4 for Kato, how Poe is carrying on the memory of his parents as described in the pre-movie Force Awakens book with Finn, Poe, and Rey, the backstory. I really like that backstory book. That's pretty good. Number 4 for Peter when he takes out all the TIE fighters above Takodana. Ooh, that's a good one too. Ross is working on a final project due tomorrow, so to say, I wish he was the same person he is when he's around Zori Bliss. I do too. I agree with you, buddy. Very much so. Thomas, I knew it from the Rise of Skywalker when Hux reveals he's the spy. Oh, interesting. Number 4 for Minta, light skipping with the Falcon. Very good. Number 4 for Brian, the monologue with General Hux at the beginning of The Last Jedi. I'll wait. Oh, that part's funny too. I forgot about that. Rats. Very good. Man. Number 4 for Mary, flying into Takodana. Cool. Very cool. Ben's number 4, when we learned he was a spice runner. Were you a stormtrooper? Were you a scavenger? We can do this all night. Okay. Awesome. That's from The Rise of Skywalker. Jason's number 4, Poe's exchange with Finn and Rey about being a spice runner. Finn being a stormtrooper and Rey being a scavenger. They were so good on screen together, wish we had more of it. Yeah, it would have been nice to see more of that. Number 4 for Amber, Poe trying to shoot Kylo, but the bolt freezes. I thought about that one too. Mason and I debated that one as far as where we would put that one. That's a good one. Number 4 for Mason is also the same as mine. The Finn rescue. The Finn/Poe rescue where they work together. Wonderful. Okay, let's see. Number 3. Number 3 for me is a Jakku shootout early on before he encounters Kylo Ren. After he meets Lord Santeca, when he gives the map to Luke Skywalker to BB-8 and he runs off, Poe shoots out, he jumps into that other X-Wing, has a little shootout. I just like the action sequence, how it sets Poe Dameron up to be a force to be reckoned with, both with a rifle, as far as thinking on his feet, and of course his expert piloting and combat skills in general. I just think it's a cool scene. I really like it. Number 3 for Minta is I Knew It, also. Matthew says all of Poe's interactions with BB-8. It is cute how they kind of have like this. He's like a master, and BB-8's like his puppy or something like that. That one's pretty fun. Let's see. Jason says Leia putting Poe in his place. Dead heroes, no leaders. A very, very powerful part for sure. Let's see. Number 3 for Peter. Who talks first? Awesome. Number 3 for Brian, Poe's sacrifice when he sends BB-8 away with the map and covers his escape at the beginning of The Force Awakens. Excuse me. Number 3 for Thomas, the X-Wing rescue at Maz's castle in The Force Awakens. I knew when we were doing this show tonight, I knew that you all would give me great ideas, and you have. You absolutely have. Number 3 for Marcus, the bro hug with Finn. Awesome. Very cool. I like that part too. Number 3 for Kato, how Poe starts to take greater responsibility for the light of the rebellion when Leia says, "Why are you looking at me?" on Last Jedi. He grows into leadership in a way Han Solo never could. I agree. Totally agree. Number 3 for Amber So. Who talks first? It's hard for me not to do an impression when I say that, because I hear it on Coffee with Kenobi all the time. Number 3 for Ben. Poe proves he learned his lesson from Admiral Holdo. We are the spark that will light the fire that will bring the First Order down. That one came up a lot in Mason and I's discussions about Poe Dameron. It's such a good line. Number 3 for Mary. The interactions with Rey and Finn in Rise. Their banter about light speed skipping, telling Rey she needs to be out there with them, and interactions on Kijimi after the reveal of being a spice runner. Awesome. That's a good one too. A very good one. Number 3 for Mason is at the Jakku shootout. So again, great minds think alike there, right, son? Number 2, top 5 favorite Poe Dameron moments. Number 2 for me is the Last Jedi intro. It was hard for me not to put this one at number 1, but it's just a very, very aggressive, testosterone-laden intro where he just takes on this entire Star Destroyer by himself, takes out their cannons to all to buy time for the bombers to come in. Just the way he does it, and the really cool movie kind of slams on his air brakes and spins around. The way he's working with BB-8. The fact that BB-8 actually says, I have a bad feeling about this, even though we didn't know it the first time we watched it, per se. It's just very, very sweeping and very exciting, and shows a very competent Poe. I'm going to try really hard not to just make it, I wish this and I wish that, but I will say that in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I think Poe Dameron is much more confident, poised character than he is in The Rise of Skywalker. And I know there are various reasons for that, and some work for me better than others, but I really like Poe. I feel like he's at his best at the beginning of this. Was it reckless? Yes. Did it save a lot of lives ultimately? Probably. So it's a tricky one. It's a really tricky one. All right, let's see. Number 2 for Minta. His interaction with Leia, there were some serious moments, but there was some comedic as well. Definitely, I love his interactions and his chemistry with Carrie Fisher. Kato's number 2. When he tickles BB-8's belly, hey, buddy, in Force Awakens when his droid returns. Certainly, I like that. Number 2, Finn, naked, leaking bag, when he's trying to get all the words right that he thinks BB-8 is saying. Yeah, that's funny. Number 2 for Thomas, Finn awake, leaking what? From The Last Jedi after Finn wakes up. LOL, very good. And then we've got, let's see, what other ones do we have? We've got Peter's. Hope I didn't miss anybody. When he drifts his X-Wing at the beginning of The Last Jedi. Yep, I just mentioned that. I love that part, Peter. It's so cool, isn't it? It's just like kind of a hot rod move, and he's acting like one as well. Number 2 for Brian. After he gets demoted and the First Order shows up, he asks Leia if he can blow stuff up. Permission to blow stuff up. Permission granted. That's funny. Thomas, yep, same funny moment. Yes. Fantastic. Love it. Number 2 for Mary, his relationship with Leia, his respect for her, and how he has learned from him, how he has learned from her in the end. Yep, they learn from each other. I agree. Jason, so who talks first? Do you talk first? I talk first? It's going to come up. Number 2 for Ben. Poe returns on Takodana and shows off his piloting skills and taking out all the ties. And once again, Dan, your number 2 is my number 1. Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny. Isn't that hilarious? Mary, no problem. I fixed the pronoun thing. I figured that's what you meant. It's hard to kind of, you're excited and you're enjoying the conversation, and it's hard not to kind of, when you're typing, I do it all the time. Matthew with the naming of Finn. Yeah, very significant moment. Very powerful moment, for sure. Let's see. Mason's number 2 is the flashlight sequence. My number 5 is Mason's number 2. He likes the humor in it just like I do. Plus the lightsaber when Rey turns on her lightsaber, just very, very strong, and he's like, me with a lightsaber. I just think that's pretty entertaining. All right, time for your number 1 favorite Poe Dameron moment. Mine. We've been saying it. I've been trying really hard to go, who talks first? You talk first? I talk first? I love that because I didn't expect that kind of humor in a Star Wars movie, at least that style of humor. I don't even know how I would describe it, actually. But it's just funny. It shows Poe. I never sort of understood the whole, he's a Han Solo of the sequel trilogy. I mean, I guess I can see that, but they're just so very different. I mean, even The Rise of Skywalker notwithstanding, Poe is much more responsible and very dedicated from the get-go. Han has to be convinced repeatedly. Poe doesn't. So I don't know. I think that's interesting. But I just like the humor in who talks first, because in the face of adversity, right in the face of Kylo Ren, who's a very daunting guy, he makes it worse. And that is also Mason's number one. So Mason and I tie at least 3 times in this list. Okay, let's see what the rest of you have for your number ones. Oh, Matthew wants to do a retcon. He says when he locks himself on the bridge of the ship trying to help the rebellion. Cool. That's a good one. Number 2 for Marcus is letting Finn keep his jacket. Yep, I'm noticing a pattern here, Marcus. I'm noticing a pattern, buddy. I've sensed that you're going to give me your jacket someday. Am I right? Is that? I don't know. We'll see. Number 1 for Thomas, asking Finn to be a general with him. A really nice character arc for Poe that shows him understanding that leading isn't always doing it alone. Yes. Love that. Very insightful. Number 1 for Kato is when he sees how comfortable Finn is in his jacket and tells him to keep it. Yeah, it's like like we've mentioned, like Marcus mentioned, and you just mentioned Kato so well. It's like a passing of the baton, passing of the torch, showing a kinship there, which is cool. Sorry that my Bad Batch popcorn just dropped. That was why I looked back like that. What an interesting sentence. My Bad Batch popcorn just dropped. Never thought I'd say that in my life. All right. Brian's number 1. His first interaction with Kylo in The Force Awakens, who talks first. We use that in our family all the time. Absolutely. Number 1 for Minta is bond with Finn and Rey. All 3 of them grew together throughout the trilogy, and they found ways to help each other become a better version of themselves. Well, what a great way to put it, Minta. Bravo. I'm going to like that one. Number 1 for Peter. When he scratches BB-8's belly in The Last Jedi, everyone with a dog can relate. It just shows their bond and how important BB-8 is to him. Definitely. Definitely. Number 1 for Ben. Poe attacks the Dreadnought single-handedly and tooling with Hux about his mother. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Mary's number 1 is also who talks first, his wit and sarcasm and his love of BB-8. Certainly. Number 1 for Matthew. The final battle at the end of Skywalker looked like all hope was lost, and he still wouldn't give up. It's true. Pretty special. Number 1 for Jason. Tooling with General Hux over the comlink. Totally takes the wind out of Hux's big speech and gets him flustered. So funny. Oh, that's great. I think he's tooling with you, sir. I believe that's what they say. Amber, Poe lightspeed skipping. Oh, cool. Number 1 for Marcus, beating Terex, Poe Dameron, number 13. Yep, I'm glad somebody mentioned that comic. It's such a good one. Justin is here. Hello, Justin. He says, my number 1 is towards the end of The Last Jedi when he finally understands what Leia has been trying to pass on him when Finn is so inconsistent on helping Luke on Crate. That's a great one. I mean, anything from The Last Jedi is going to be high on the list. It's so good. Hey, Carter, what's up, man? Says, can't stay long because I'm pushing cards, but here's my list. 5 is Banner with Kylo in The Force Awakens. 4 is timing in The Rise of Skywalker. It's time when he lost hope, only to hear Lando come into the radio range with a great shot. 3, the escape with Finn. 2, when he realized he was... Let me get it back. When he was wrong about taking over the bridge in The Last Jedi, when they had the opportunity to run from the rebellion in The Last Jedi and decided he wanted to stay and fight. Great, Carter. Outstanding, buddy. Thanks for joining us. I know you've been busy working on Monday nights. We'll always save a spot for you, my friend. Very good. All right, so thank you, everybody, for sharing your top 5 moments from the Bad Batch. Next week, we've got a bit of a tricky one. So, of course, my assistant junior executive producer, Mason's there, helped me come up with next week's top 5. Of course, since the Bad Batch is going to show up, it was announced today on an article on CNN's, not CNN, but Seascape, C-SPAN, I don't know. It was on a website that is credible. I know it is. I trust it. That maybe it was CNET. I think it was CNET. I don't know. Anyway, Lucasfilm told me to. It's going to be 16 episodes in season 1 of the Bad Batch. Will there be more than one season? They don't know. They're not saying. I have no idea. But we do know we're going to get 16 episodes. But this week, of course, we've got tomorrow on May the 4th. We're going to have the first episode. And then we've got the second episode, which is going to come out on Friday. So we're going to have 2 episodes this week, but only 1 Facebook Live next week. So what we're going to do next week is we're going to do top 5 moments from episodes 1 and 2 of the Bad Batch, but we're going to do separate ones. We're going to do separate ones. We're going to do a top 5 for episode 1 and a top 5 for episode 2. That's right. We're going to have 2 separate top 5s for next week. That's right. 2 separate episodes for top 5 next week. So we're going to have a top 5 for the first episode. And then we're going to wrap that one up. Then we're going to do a top 5 for the second episode. Tomorrow is going to be fun. Minta has an interesting thing. She says, to forget Star Wars Day, it's Star Wars Month. It kind of is. May really kind of is. Amber wants to know if it's 70 minutes. Has that been announced yet? I have to be so careful because I had to do all these non-disclosure thingies, but I can't remember what's been announced and what I'm allowed to say. Ross is pumped. 16, that's awesome. Well, that's a lot of 5:30 a.m. alarms. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But hey, man, that's part of the fun, buddy. That is part of the fun. Carter, I think you're being called out, brother. It's okay. This is kind of his homework, sort of. Tim says, great job, Mason. Well, look at that. Well, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Tim / maybe Michael. Who knows? All right, so that's 10 total. Yes, you did the math right. We're going to have a top 5 for the first episode and a top 5 for the second episode. Tomorrow, you can certainly look for a lot of cool things on Coffee with Kenobi, talking about the Bad Batch. What I can say now is that tomorrow, you're going to see my review on Coffee with Kenobi's website, coffeewithkenobi.com. And tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., you're going to get a review show of the first episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch. The premiere episode, I've already recorded it with James Burns from Jedi News. So the two of us break down The Bad Batch. I have seen the first episode. Gosh, I've seen it 3 times now. It's been hard to keep it a secret, but I've had my hands on this beauty for a couple of weeks now, and I'm just so happy that we're finally going to get a chance. I'm happy we're finally going to get a chance to talk about it together. Let's jump into Ask Dan Z. All right, so yes, I have seen the first episode. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. I posted a little tiny blurb that basically said this is how I feel about it, about the first episode. But you can expect a full write-up tomorrow on Coffee with Kenobi's website, and you can expect a podcast episode breaking down the entire first episode, the premiere episode, with myself and James Burns of Jedi News. Lots of fun announcements are coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Matthew is excited. Amber is excited. We're all excited. As well, it says it's Ask Dan Z. It is, but it's really kind of more about you tell me how you're going to celebrate May the 4th. So please tell me in the comments. You've got a little bit of time. Please let me know in the comments how you're planning on celebrating May the 4th and share your excitement level for the Bad Batch. Amber wants to know if I liked it. Amber, I'm not allowed to give a review yet until tomorrow morning, but I am allowed to share what I post on social media, which is this. Thumbs up. So hopefully that helps to clarify things. That's the most I'm allowed to say. I'm excited for everybody's comments. So tell me how you're going to celebrate May the 4th, Star Wars Day, what your plans are, and what you're going to do. I'll be teaching tomorrow during the day. Of course, I'll be decked out in full Star Wars attire. There is going to be a really, really fun event that I'm doing tomorrow night. Actually, let me see if I can find the promo for it. I thought I had the promo for it. I'll look for that. But tomorrow I'm doing a very special presentation for a local library here. It's actually in Sandwich, Illinois, which is a town that has a great library. They're very, very dedicated to learning and to spreading the word about Star Wars Day and reading and a lot of fun things like that. So I've got actually here, I'm going to pull it up for you. I've got an announcement that I meant to pre-do, so I apologize for not doing that earlier. But basically, it's going to be tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be a Zoom webinar that is free for everybody to check out. I will be posting it all over social media. I already have a little bit so far. So let me put the actual thing up there. Here we go. Ta-da! Let me pull that up so it's above. Let's see. There we go. Star Wars and the Hero's Journey tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. It's a Zoom webinar. I'll be talking about the hero's journey and the literary value of Star Wars, and I'm going to be recommending specific books as well. So be sure to join me tomorrow. The link is on the webpage. I'll have it posted on social media quite a bit tomorrow as well. Okay, let's see what everybody has planned. Let me scroll through this thing right here. We've got a lot of great comments. Ben is going to get the first dose of the vaccine. Bravo. Hopefully I have the force with me to help. You sure will, buddy, and that is so cool. Good luck to you. I'm very excited for you. Matthew, watching The Bad Batch and The Force Awakens from tomorrow. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know if you meant to say nap, but I always approve of a nap no matter what day of the year it is. How's the soundtrack? Well, again, Peter, I'm not allowed to say yet, but tomorrow I'll be happy to answer your questions about that. I hate keeping the secret, but when Disney says shush, then I listen. And I know that it'll be fun to talk to you about it next week, Peter, for sure. Daniel wants to know any news on the Kenobi production. I have not seen or heard much of anything. I have not heard or seen anything either, my friend. I have not heard anything about it. I hope we hear something about it. Ben's also going to watch the Star Wars Lego cartoons with the kids, so that's a great idea. Brian is going to make some Star Wars treats, Beskar Bites, which are chocolate fudge, and some Grogu Rice Krispie treats to pass out. But Brian, that is great. Is that a Brian Stone Cipher original, or is that something you found in a cool Star Wars recipe book? That's really fun. Let's see. Amber's going to be eating Ronto wraps, watching The Bad Batch, going to a Star Wars walk outside in Jedi robes, and playing Battlefront with the family. Sounds like a great day. Says Harvey, do because you are my dad. Mason, you're the best, buddy. You're the best. Peter says, watching Bad Batch, of course. Ross is going to wake up early to watch Bad Batch and wear his new Vi Marathi shirt, which he texted me a picture of. It's pretty cool. And see what I can manage during the workday. Yep. Mason says, hi, Amber. Or Amber says, hi, Mason. That's what I meant to say. Mita's going to be watching The Bad Batch and nerding up for work. Absolutely. Chelsea's here. Hello, Chelsea. Chelsea's going to Disneyland. First time since it's been closed to celebrate May the 4th. Disney bounding as Ahsoka. If my husband watches Bad Batch without me while I'm gone, I will not be happy. Well, I'm sure that he will wait for you. But that's fun, Chelsea. You have a wonderful time at Disneyland. That's so cool. Number one for Mary, always wearing her universe attire, watching The Bad Batch with Chaz, attend your Zoom webinar, and try to snag some merch. Thank you. Yeah, the merchandise tomorrow, as I'm telling you. I've seen some cool stuff that you're going to see tomorrow on Shop Disney. Again, another shameless plug for our Coffee with Kenobi Shop Disney affiliate link. But there's going to be some great stuff. Jason is wearing a Star Wars shirt to work, drinking One Nation coffee from a Star Wars mug. Nice. Listening to the soundtrack from the Bad Batch episodes of Clone Wars and counting down the hours until I can watch the first episode. Love it, buddy. You're going to have so much fun. Daniel, May the 4th, will be costuming as a Jedi at an elementary school as the kids get off the buses, then waving to traffic in 2 towns later in the day. Cannot wait. Oh, that is cool. Matthew's a Simpsons short. Yeah, there's a Star Wars Simpsons short that's coming out tomorrow. That was just announced today. Peter's been rewatching Rebels. Yes, so I might watch a couple episodes. Almost to the end of the second season. So fun to revisit. Peter, I think Rebels is about the best Star Wars thing that was ever done. I love it. And Mason says Battlefront 1 or 2. Oh, look at you trying to negotiate your evening tomorrow. Peter says he's going to play with his lightsabers as well. That's so cool. Man, so many fun things to celebrate May the 4th tomorrow. I'll do that Zoom webinar tomorrow. I'll put the image up there again for you. I am going to be on the local news tomorrow morning. I will share that on social media. If you're in the central Illinois area, it's going to be WMBD News at 6:40 a.m. They'll be replaying it throughout the day, but I will also be on, I will share that on social media because I'm sure we'll be on there as well. I'll be teaching and celebrating Star Wars with all of my students. We're actually doing a little bit of a Mandalorian mini unit as the seniors are closing up their mythology classes before they graduate, so that'll be fun too. And I'm sure that Mason and I will do some, we'll be all whole family, including my lovely wife Deanna, will be eating this Galactic Berry Crunch popcorn, having lightsaber fights, having all kinds of fun as well. Speaking of fun, it's of course so much fun to spend every Monday night with all of you on Facebook Live, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Next week, get 2 top 5 lists ready. one top 5 for episode 1, and one top 5 for episode 2. So you'll have 10 total to choose from. We're going to separate them out, but it's going to be fun because each episode is pretty cool. They both deserve their just due. Look tomorrow for my review of the first episode of The Bad Batch. It will be spoiler free, naturally. Now, the podcast tomorrow, I wouldn't listen to the podcast tomorrow until you've actually watched the first episode, because that episode review, the podcast itself, is certainly full of spoilers. So to sum up, the written review will be spoiler free, and the podcast will not be spoiler free. So be sure to watch that one after you've seen the show. If you are a member of the Coffee with Kenobi CWK Alliance, then you have access to CWK Pour Over. This week we talked about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings teaser trailer, sort of the state of Marvel as well. Next week we're going to be looking at Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that entire series itself. Going to be lots of fun. So meantime, may the Force be with you. Thank you always for your support of Coffee with Kenobi. Matthew, thank you for coming. May the Force be with you, my friend. Ben, be safe on Revenge of the 5th. Yes, you as well. Kato says, thanks, Dan. May the Force be with you and some fun. You as well. Amber, may the Force be with you. Jason, happy Star Wars Day to you. May the Force be with you, buddy. Mason, I will see you very, very soon. Amber, have a good night. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody. Daniel, keep up the good work. Can't wait to see the images of you in your Obi-Wan Kenobi attire. Peter, have a great May the 4th as well. Mary, good luck to everyone who's trying to get merch tomorrow. May the 4th be with you all. Have a great week and happy Mother's Day to Deanna and all the moms out there. Yes, a very, very happy Mother's Day. Much more important than Star Wars Day. Of course, we love our Star Wars. But none of this is possible without our amazing moms and our supportive wives. And so happy Mother's Day to all of you as well. Ross, have a festive and safe May the 4th too. Hope you get all your stuff done. Everybody, I think I need a drink of water. It's been great chatting with you. Happy Star Wars Day. And remember, this is a podcast you're looking for. Enjoy The Bad Batch, everybody. I can't wait to see what you all think. See you next time.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here.